Have you been online long enough to see this yet? Have you ever gotten this message from a friend?
What?
Or how about this one?
Oh my God!
All of these things suck, and if you're not careful, all of them will happen to you at some point. People will take control of your private data and they will use it against you or share it publicly in ways that you don't want. In fact, guys, that's already happened to you. Wait, you mean you haven't seen it? Well, it's all right here. Let me show it to you. The truth is that we have all been hacked already, and a lot of our precious data has already been released out there for other people to use against us in developing their next exploit. In fact, in a previous video, we set you up with one of the greatest and easiest things that you can do today to prevent your accounts from being jacked tomorrow. We got you using a password manager. We have you automatically creating solid passwords, and we have you siloing up all of your accounts to limit the damage that can be done by others easily. If you haven't seen that video, stop. Go do that now, and when you're done, you can come back here and we'll go to the next step, okay? Oh look, a comment. Nice look, sweater boy. Sweater boy. Now, I started this video talking about account takeovers and how much it literally sucks to get hacked. But few people realize that there's a much bigger threat out there, a more common threat, and that is the ability of complete strangers to use what are called open source intelligence techniques to just kind of expose the very private parts of our world in a very public and unsettling way. These people, they don't want our money. They don't want to hack us. They just want to watch us. They want to know more about us, to kind of creep their way into our lives, often unnoticed, and kind of have their own private little window into parts of our lives that not everybody gets to see. It kind of makes my skin crawl just thinking about it. Whether your concern is hacking or stalking, it's really the same concern, guys, because a lot of the ways that people will hack you today is by employing a technique called social engineering. And you know, when you contact a service provider of some type, if you need help, they're going to ask you a series of questions that you should know about your life. Most of the answers to those questions can be easily found out online if you're not being careful, right? And so whether it's stalking or hacking, it's the same concern here. You're probably making it way too easy for anyone to find out anything that they want about you online. And of course, I'm not talking about the cops here. I'm talking about the creepy guy you met at a college bar, or the weird girl you dated like once in middle school and she just can't let it go. Darcy, it's been 30 years. You have to stop calling me. You can probably be found by anyone. And let's just talk about real life here for a second. We might be talking about the kids that you babysit for, or a colleague at work that you don't know too well, or maybe it's the boss at work that just seems to know a little bit too much, you know? I can't tell you how many teachers I talk to that have been doxxed by their own students. My point here is this: if you're online today, you're just exposing secrets that other people can find out really, really easily. And they can do it for free, like without any really crazy techniques or training. And it's time for us to fix that. I want you to try this. Take a picture of yourself, or maybe download a picture where your face can be clearly seen. And then you're going to go to Google and you're going to hit this button right here. I want you to submit your search and see what comes up. Either upload that picture or paste that picture and hit search, right? If you see yourself in the results, I want you to then click on that result and see what you can learn from it. What could a stranger learn from it? Now, admittedly, Google is probably the worst at this. Their free public face search tool, it's not very good at all, and that's actually by design. They limit it for various reasons. So if you don't see yourself here, I want you to try this website or this one. There are literally hundreds of these sites, and the ones I'm giving you are just the free ones. Some of them work really, really well, but they all kind of produce different results. Now, if you want to pay a little bit of money, you can go to maybe PimEyes or Clearview, and you will find pictures of yourself there, okay? Unless you're extraordinarily unique, okay? Now, those pictures are going to come up in search results along with links that person can click to find out the context of the picture, the history of when it was posted. They're going to get a trail of breadcrumbs that can lead them, whomever is viewing those pictures, right back to you and your life. So the paid companies, they take those pictures directly from your social media posts. Sometimes they scrape it from public feeds and profile pictures, and sometimes these are actually the companies that our privacy policies talk about as unnamed like partners and affiliates that the social media groups are able to share your information with. And then those partners and affiliates, they just kind of share it with the world. The increasing use of artificial intelligence means that this technology is getting better like every day. And in fact, today, it's actually reached the point where some fool can literally walk by you, snap a pic of your face, and from that picture, they can find out what your Snap screen name is, what sports team you played on when you were younger, where you live, and much, much more. But let's stop talking about your face for a minute. Get out my face. What about your email address? I mean, you're the only one who uses that email address, right? Ooh. That's probably a big problem for you, because it means that anybody can take your current email address and submit it to this particular website right here. And they can find out if there's any previously released hacked data that's correlated to that email address. That data could include your prior passwords, usernames, date of birth, address, medical records, and a whole host of other information that you don't want the world knowing about. In fact, why don't you take a break, head to that website, put your current email address in there, and see if you've already been exposed. But to cut through the suspense, if you've been using the same email address for like 10 years on multiple accounts, some of your stuff has gotten out there. Another place that you can go is this website right here, which pretty much accesses similar data, but it gives you some more details and it'll tell you if there's commonly available information on you out there. And for a small fee, it'll show you some more of the details on what that information is, which is kind of fascinating and also great information for you if you're trying to clean some of this stuff up. But if you want the really good stuff, you're going to have to jump on a few of the popular torrents that are kind of on the other side of the dark web, or pay a small fee to somebody to just do the digging for you. The point is, there is usually a lot of information available for free on the average person. If you just did a basic Google search on yourself right now, how many of you would turn up? And if you did turn up, what would you find? Like job-related posts or maybe school-related stuff, right? Well, I want you to try not to think of that data in terms of popularity, but think of it in terms of exposure that could come back and hurt you if a bad person got access to it. What could a bad person do with access to that info? That's the mindset we need to get into. Now, from that mindset, I want you to dive into your social media accounts, if you have them. If you don't have social media, nice job. If you do have them, like so many of us do, I want you to view your account from somebody else's phone, like one of your besties, okay? Now, when you're viewing your account from one of your friends' phones, see what other people see about you through their eyes, and then I want you to unfriend the person who's looking at your account and take another look, right? So you can see how your account appears to those who aren't friends with you. But don't worry, you guys are still besties. This will all be over in a minute, okay? Now, before you bring them back into your trusted circle, I want you to make your account private. And once again, take a look from somebody else's phone at your private account. What you are going to find, guys, is that your private account, it's not private. Like, not at all. Huh? You already know that what I need to open up your world is basically a screen name and or a profile picture. And that's still visible, okay? So you can still find out a whole lot about you as a person from simply your private Instagram or Snap, right? It's just that easy. And someone else can then use that information to become a nuisance or just to watch you from afar. So what we're getting at here is how easy it can be to learn about someone online. More importantly, what someone could do to you if they learned a lot about you online and they were the type of person where the elevator in their head is no longer going to the top floor. Do you know what I mean? Like, those people are definitely out there. And I want you to remember, by the time someone reveals themselves to you as a weirdo, it's usually too late to block them. You know, you're already kind of into a relationship before you realize that, yeah, something's up here. And by that point, they've already got what they need to either make your life miserable or to just kind of pull up a chair and watch your life unfold online. Don't forget, we don't really block people today. It's no longer really relevant. It's not really even possible. Like, if you're using the same email or the same username, or if you only have one phone number, you know, it's really easy for people to find you. This website, for instance, it lets you search most of the popular networks that are out there for a single username or email address, and it's gonna find that person if you only know their Instagram screen name, but they use the same screen name on, I don't know, Roblox or Snap or something like that. You know, it's gonna expose those accounts for you very quickly and easily. And so that person that you just blocked, they're just gonna create a Finsta, they're going to respawn with some other account, and then they're going to jump into one of these other platforms where you are, and they're going to be more careful this time. You're not going to know it's them. They're going to work their way back into your life. They know it's you, but they're pretending to be someone else. And it only gets crazier from here. Like, if you're willing to pay maybe $10 for some information, you can go to any number of the people search engine sites that are out there, and you can find out almost anything on a perfect stranger, like from their address to their phone number, the family members that they live with, what they paid in taxes last year, all kinds of information. Now, friends, you need to know, because we all come from different backgrounds, right? All of the tools that I have mentioned or shown you in this video exist amongst the most basic and honestly the most dated search tools and techniques that are available to absolutely everybody today at no or very little cost. If you bother to develop even the most limited experience with OSINT, which are open source intelligence techniques, you're going to instantly access far more powerful tools and be able to accomplish far deeper digging than we just did. And you're going to be able to do that very quickly for very little expense. So if you don't know, because this is the first video of this kind that you're watching, most people know a lot about this today. But what I've just shown you is probably enough to make some of you feel a little bit unsettled. And to those of you who feel that way, please listen to me. These are not secrets. There are thousands of videos on YouTube demonstrating exactly what I've just shown you and much, much more. I'm not giving anyone the tools that they need to find you, and I'm certainly not creating the desire within them to do so. Both of those things exist already. If someone decides that they want to make you their subject of study, they're going to instantly find all the tools that I've talked about and much, much more. The way I can help ensure that you stay successful and happy is by making sure that you know about this stuff too, because that gives you a chance to protect yourself from it. That once you know this stuff is out there, you can begin to kind of clean up your online footprint a little bit. And so when somebody tries to use these tools against you, there's actually very little to find. And we can do that. So we're going to start by you using the tools that I've already discussed in this website to kind of do a little bit of a research project on yourself from the perspective of somebody else. I want you to see what you can dig up, whether it's Google or whether it's one of the other websites that I've already mentioned here. Go back there and start putting in your email, your username, and some of the other information. Drop your photo into some of these photo search engines, and I want you to see what other people would be able to find on you relatively cheaply or easily. And that gives us a chance to go in there and address it. Now, the good news is that most people, most companies, most places will actually take your photo or your data down if you ask them to do so. So do it. Michael Bazzelli offers a really good resource for you to systematically request that your data be deleted from like the people search engine databases. They don't have to keep your information. And if you let them know that you don't consent to it, you don't want them to have it, most of them will actually pull it down. And I'm going to link to that resource right below this video. You're going to have to take your time with it because there's a lot of them out there. But as you knock off some of the bigger search engine sites, your information is going to begin to disappear from the internet. Another phenomenon that really bothers me and something that you'll run into is that when you turn 17 to 18, instantly there's a flood of data just vomited on you out onto the internet. And that's because a lot of these companies have been maintaining like a dossier on you, a folder on you while you were younger. And for various reasons, they can't expose all of it until you become an adult. And then once you become an adult, it's like the gates open and it all just gets dumped out there. So make sure if you're looking at data now and you're cleaning some of it up, that you go back after you turn 18 and take another look, because it's going to look a lot different shortly thereafter. If you're already over 18 and you're advanced in age, as am I, most of the stuff on you is probably out there, but you still have to go back every year or so to make sure that nothing new has made a presence that you want to address. Now, to address a couple of the concerns, the comments that inevitably come up whenever I talk about this subject in front of a group. Number one, people say, well, Tim, you've told me that my information is out there. It's always going to be out there. You never get that information back. Is there any point to me actually taking the time to clean some of this up? And the answer is, yeah, absolutely, really big deal. I want you to think of the information available to you as kind of like fruit hanging off of a tree. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that low-hanging fruit that anybody can just walk by and pick off the tree, and you're going to push it up into the branches of that tree so that they'll need a ladder to get it, So most of the people that are going to look into your life, or they're going to try to find out more about you, they're not going to spend a lot of time on it. They want to do what's quick and easy, and they'll lose interest quickly. They'll get bored or tired of searching quickly, and so they're just going to go away. That's the overwhelming majority of people that are going to look into your life. Is a dedicated, devoted, and talented hacker still going to be able to find up all kinds of intimate details about you? Yeah, That is true, but you're still going to be preventing most people from finding out most of the things that we'd rather keep to ourselves. Another thing that I commonly get from teenagers and young adults in particular, sometimes parents of teens and young adults, is, hey, Tim, my kid wants to live their life online. You know, they were cooped up during COVID and they developed their relationships kind of completely online, and that's how they live their life today. And I get that, right? People want to share, they want to engage, they want to meet others, they want to project who they are and what they're doing online, and probably for all the right reasons. I'm willing to accept that, and I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. But then the teen or the young adult or the parent will come to me and they'll say, we just don't want the creeps to mess with us. We just want to be left alone from the weirdos, you know? Guys, you can't have both. I'm sorry, but I got to tell you, it's not an unreasonable desire to want to be left alone online, but it's an impossible expectation. And I'm not selling a fairy tale here, I'm selling the real world. It's really dangerous out there. There's some really bad dudes, there's some really crazy people. I've seen some really bad stuff. And when it comes to living your life with a high-profile online footprint, you're accepting that bad people and crazy people are going to be able to access you in your life. You can't have it both ways. Is it right? No. Is it fair? Absolutely not. Is what I just told you true? Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't make the rules, and neither did you. We have no choice here but to kind of confront reality. And reality can be a very rude awakening, I guess, for some. It's definitely inconvenient, but better you know now. So you're going to decide what's best for you. I've given you a little peek into what's out there. And trust me, it was just a little peek. But it's time for you to decide what's most important, your social footprint or your safety. And I sincerely mean it when I say that it is your choice. All I've done here is given you the power to choose. That's all I care about, is that you are given the power to make the right decisions for you in your life. The channel is about learning more so you can live better. That's all I want. Now, if you like this subject, or if you find this stuff kind of interesting in general, I've got a lot more for you to learn. Just check out the playlist on my YouTube channel. And if you want to know about these things before your friends or neighbors do, make sure you click on the subscribe button so you get first pick of the videos. Do it now. Do it now. Now, I have to go. I'm going to run and work on another video, but I'm pretty sure that I'll be seeing you again soon because I just grabbed your IP address. Just kidding. But it's easy for other people to do that. Do you want to know how to hide your IP address? Yeah, you do, because you need to be hiding it. So why don't you check out my video with the big VPN sign on it, and I'll make sure you understand how to hide your IP address from bad people. I'll see you soon.